Hello, everyone. We are Don't Mess with the Mommas, MOMMAS, with our motto
is you are the protagonist of your life, not the victim of your destiny.
And today we are on season 2, episode 4, and we're doing like a dual thing. We're talking about doggies and then food. So it's called Barks and Bites. Like not dog bites, but biting food. Yummy, yummy. And we're calling this episode Barks of Wisdom, because who has the ultimate wisdom?
Dog.
Really dog. It's dogs all the way. Now, I don't know if you could see my T-shirt, but it says, read books, and I'll tell you about that in a second. Be kind and stay weird. Now, doesn't that talk about a dog? And isn't that wonderful that if we could be like that, right? Human beings. So every time we drive to the library, which is our local library, Zoe, our dog, who's licking Carla's feet right now, so you might not be able to see her.
Which I love.
She loves licking feet, and she makes everybody feel so good by licking feet. She gets so excited. And I keep on telling her, I keep on asking for books for pugs, and they refuse to get books. So anybody out there, seriously, I would love to have a book for dogs, a kind of a scratch and sniff. So any of you graphic designers, just write to me, Arlaana Black at Mommas, MOMMAS.podcast at gmail.com. Wouldn't that be fun? Because why shouldn't dogs? They like to read too. They just can't read words, but they could experience great things, right?
Let me tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
We have a dog named Sensei.
Oh, yes.
Charlotte's dog.
Yes.
The dog knows colors. It knows how to harass her until she opens up the closet with all her toys, all his toys. You know, the dog is phenomenal. The dog also knows how to get out the house and go up the block to see his little girlfriend. Okay? Yeah, that's Sensei.
And interestingly enough, when I first met Carla some years ago, she couldn't have pets in the house, but she did have a dog. She'll tell you about. She meant to bring it, but she kind of left it home. But
next time,
tell us about this crazy dog of yours.
Well, you know, my whole family is allergic. Okay, so they can't have cats, they can't have dogs, they can't have lizards, they can't have chameleons, they can't have hermit crabs, whatever it is. If it's an animal, they can't have it. Okay? Yeah. Okay. And so when I moved down here, I had put my cats to sleep because they were both ill. And I was really very sad about that. And I happened to walk into Hobby Lobby, and they had these dogs, skeleton dogs for Halloween. And I looked at the dog, and the little vacant black eyes spoke to me. And I said, oh, I got to have that dog. And I ran around the store looking for that dog. That one, I had to have that dog. So we told my sister that I had a dog. And now she's expecting, oh, I'm going to start sneezing, carrying on. And then we told her how it was a puppy, but it had big paws, because, you know, big paws means big dog. So then she was like really freaked out. And so what happens is that, you know, we finally have to break it to her. And she had started to think about giving her little biscuits, what she could feed the dog and everything. And then I show her what the dog actually looks like. And she had to laugh. She had to laugh. It's a skeleton dog. Something that you should put out on your porch at Halloween time. But Bones is good, okay? My super came and he saw, and he says, you haven't fed that dog yet? And then on top of that, I had some furniture being brought into the house. And the guy who was bringing it happened to look down and saw Bones with his mouth open and those black eyes, and his whole body was like ready to run. And then he realized it wasn't a real dog, you know. He told me, you should put a sign up, beware of dog, you know. So that's Bones.
As you can tell, Carla has a very good sense of humor. Yeah. So many wonderful things about dogs, and we can learn so much from dogs. That's why we're calling this Barks of Wisdom. Dogs live in the present. They don't have a past. They don't have a future. how difficult it is to really live in the present. And when you live in the present, you can accomplish so much more because you're not thinking of what you did or didn't do in the past. You're not thinking about, oh, I need to do this in the future. You're just fully engaged in the present. They don't have egos, you know. They just love unconditionally. And they're very slick because 30,000 years ago, something called convergent evolution, they kind of picked up, I don't know how they did this psychologically, but they knew the survival of the friendliest. If they could be really friendly to people, they would get fed and they would get taken care of. And that's what really caused humans and dogs to start uniting, right? And because they have such a good sense of smell, they know human emotions. And that's why dogs could be trained to even pick up on chemical changes in the body. So they could be trained to detect epilepsy. And so if somebody's about to have an epileptic episode or even, you know, a coronary episode. And I didn't even know this, but if you're really stressed and your heart is really going fast, they will sync their heart to your heart. It's really phenomenal, you know.
Let me tell you one other thing. I've learned that they have evolved their eye muscles so that when they give you that look like, oh, please give me another biscuit, that's something that they evolved, that they can do because of evolution. You know, they give me another biscuit. Let me have another piece of cheese.
And also, I was talking to our son about this. How many humans could really look at each other in the eye and stay, you know, watching each other and they're looking at each other in the eyes, right? It's like, you know, you kind of like, after a while, like, who's going to blink first? You know, that game, blink first. But Zoe, down here, she's able to look you in the eye and say so much more than words can ever say, right? Words can never say. Anyway, but it's really amazing that you don't really need that many words. You can express so much with your eyes because the eye is like the soul of your life. Even in Egypt, ancient Egypt, the jackal, which is kind of like a big overgrown dog, was used. The theory was that the dog would be able to help people in their afterlife, escort them to the afterlife. Sorry, if anybody's an archaeologist or anthropologist, if I get that wrong, excuse me. But so they have so much sensitivity. We can learn so much, you know, from them. And just to tell you a little bit about Zoe, and I know I've said this before, but Zoe definitely has a great mission in life, and we really feel like she was meant to be with us because people kind of, when they meet her, they almost think she's human. I mean, people have said that to me, like, you know, she seems more human than dog, you know. And it's not just from being with us, it's just her natural nature. But she was born with such a rare skin condition. She had pustules all over her body, and we paid a lot of money for her, but the breeders didn't tell us this, and I don't know if they really knew or not, but we loved her so much from the jump. But they thought she was going to die from cancer because she had pustules all over her body. And she is as beautiful as she is. She doesn't have the bulging eyes that a pug has. Her eyes are like not bulging at all, which is unusual. And she doesn't have canines, so she's sort of in between the human world and the dog world. But she, so she had to see a vet dermatologist, and he said in his 30 years of practice he had never seen a case like that. But now she's on prednisone every other day, which so many of us, you know, have to take too, steroids. We took her for brachiocephalic surgery to open up her nostrils. Right after the surgery, she coded. She stopped breathing for 5 minutes, and her whole body blew up with air. And we were told that she might not make it through the night. Well, needless to say, we chanted Nam Myoho Renge Kyo all night between tears and chanting. And she was supposed to be, they called and they said, well, she survived, but she'll have to be in intensive care for 3 days. Well, wouldn't you know, the very next day she was busy eating, you know, they were feeding her, and she was ready to rock and ready to come home, you know. And then the other day she hurt her leg. But, dogs, they don't complain, right? I mean, they really don't complain to you, and they can deal with a lot of hurt and pain. So how much we can learn from dogs, right?
True.
And I know you've had cats. Tell us something about.
Oh, my cats. Oh, my cats. Well, I had a cat who named Sam, and I didn't know he had diabetes, and he would wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And once the animal gets into your head, you can't get them out. You can't pretend that you didn't hear them. All right, calling you to do something. So I'd get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd go get the can of cat food out because he wanted to eat. And then he wanted me to stand right there with him while he ate. And some nights he didn't even want to really eat unless I picked him up, kissed him, and then said, go ahead and eat. And then he would do that, So, but he was phenomenal. And then one day I heard him call me by my name. And I said, oh, we got to get you a friend. We can't have you call me by my name in the house at 3 o'clock in the morning. No, you're not going to be calling me Carla. No, I get you a friend. So, he was a beautiful cat, and I missed him when he passed away, and I got two more cats, Angie and Binky, and Angie and Binky, Kevin and Angie. I mean, I've had cats all my life, Yeah, I would have a dog, but I'm just lazy. I don't want to walk them.
That's why you need a yard, right?
Yeah.
And dogs also. But back to dogs for a sec. And I'm sure cats have this too. Mirror neurons, so that they can emulate us. They could really connect with us on such a deep level. So there's so much psychology going on, And even you said something about snakes that.
Well,
this is a real metaphor. I mean, most people don't love snakes. Some people love snakes, but there's a metaphor here about snakes.
Snakes, when they their skin gets tattered, but they rub it off until it sheds, and it's like they reinvent themselves, But you have to be. We can do it too. We just have to be willing to shed the skin, whatever that is, whatever that was from the past. Get rid of it. Make yourself new.
Don't you love it? Yeah. But once again, back to dogs. They have, they develop, or they create this love hormone. Like when you're connected with a dog or a cat, oxytocin, or any animal, that love hormone. So many people who don't have, relationships with another human being, their relationship with their animals are so strong because they're in love, basically. That hormone, the dopamine, the oxytocin, all of that stuff is going on at the same time, right? So please, animals are so precious. Life itself is so precious. Every life. Snakes, we have so much to learn from snakes.
Right.
We have so much to learn from our animal friends, and from plants and every kind of life form.
True.
So with that, a couple of a comment. This is from when we talked about communication is the God of the universe, and we did that wonderful interview with Anne. She was amazing, who lives in Maine, my dream place to go to. And Nicole Poetry, she goes by. And shout out to Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Hi. She said, reading is a lifeline, absolutely. And she always loved to read since she was little as well. That's why she's Nicole Poetry. She loves to write poetry, as we do. So this is some encouragement from Daisaku Ikeda, once again, our international president, our mentor in life, who shows us what's the best way for human beings to live. I mean, isn't that why we're alive? What's the best way for human beings to live? Life is a chain. All things are related. When any link is harmed, the other links are affected. And then the essential teachings of Buddhism, and this is Buddhism, you could say another word for life. Buddha means enlightened life condition. So we don't even have to separate ourselves.
Awakened.
Just awakened, yes, awakened human. Yes, an awakened human. Is that the life of the Buddha or the awakened person resides in every plant and tree, even in the smallest dust mote. It is a philosophy of the utmost reverence for life, and that's what we all need. We really need to respect life. That's why we're here on earth, not to destroy life, but to respect life. And then only when we living things are connected to nature, engaged with nature, are we truly alive and vigorous. So get a dog, get a cat, get a bird, maybe a snake, maybe even a little
Newt or
a newt, yeah,
a chameleon or
a chameleon,
hermit crab.
or a turtle, or whatever it is, because you'll have so much fun. And
Love.
with that, yes, love, 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 love.
And every now and then I rub my little dog. I talk to Bones. I rub him. I say, thank you,
If Bones starts barking, then
I know something.
One of you has to go somewhere.
Well, listen, he blew out his candles on his birthday. I got the video of that.
Don't take of it, please. Anyway, we are don't mess with the Mommas, MOMMAS, and
Our
we
motto?
is
You are the protagonist of your life, not the victim of your destiny.
You can find us on all platforms.
This is Arlaana, and I'm Carla.
Oh, we didn't introduce ourselves. Oh my gosh. Or maybe I'm Carla and you're Arlaana. Who knows? You can find us on all major platforms, and we publish every Wednesday.
Yes.
Yes. And Mommas, MOMMAS.podcast@gmail.com. Leave us a comment on TikTok and YouTube, Insta,
Spotify.
wherever. And we think you're the best. You're the best. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.